Welcome back here on FloridaHSFootball.com as we're at the Florida Citrus Sports Media Days doing this video here for online and for the video podcast and podcast on FloridaHSFootball.com. And joining us here is the Apopka Blue Darters here in the house, and we have head coach Jeff Rolson here, and then we've got Lorenzo Payne, and then we got Malachi Davey here, both of them seniors here joining us here. And Coach, we'll start with you here first, and appreciate you being able to stop by here at Media Day. And y'all are coming off another state championship appearance. I know it was a disappointment, another nail biter in the end, but I know that it just builds up motivation for y'all coming into the next season. So I know the ultimate goal for y'all again is get to the state championship game and actually win that state championship game. And so what after that bitter loss to Columbus in the state championship game last December, what have y'all been able to do during the off season to start building for this season?
Our kids have had a great summer. They're working hard. I feel good about our core group. We probably have 50 to 60 kids that are really bought in, and that's what you're going to build from. We have more players than that, but that's the core group of guys. And we have seniors that have got a lot of football experience, and we got some dynamic, good-looking young kids that we feel good about. But we just want to maximize our potential this year, and if that's third round, if that's a championship, if that's whatever it is, we're going to be all right with it as long as we just do the best we can do.
Looking at it, I call this probably the district of death, or the district of it's like the SEC of high school football in terms of y'all's district. Looking at it, it's you guys at Apopka. There's Evans that's trying to work on the rebuilding there. Lake Brantley, Lake Mary, and then there's Seminoles. So when you talk about these teams that are sitting here that are playing, that are very competitive teams, and several of those teams are in the mix for talk about deep playoff runs or getting to the state championship game. What is it about this district that really that makes it so competitive in your view?
Well, it's a new district, so Lake Mary is really improved. They're up and comers. They've always been tough and well coached, but they're better than they've been in the past, and they have a belief now that they can compete. And they knocked Seminole out of the playoffs last year, and they gave us all we wanted. And we were able to beat them twice, but they've really improved. And then Seminole's going to be uber talented. They're going to have lots of players, and they've been coached well. They got a coaching change over there, but we've had some barn burners with them, and we've come out on top more often than not. But they're really, really talented. Brantley's running triple option, so you got to know how to defend that. And then Evans is going to hopefully they're got a new coach. They're going to improve, but they'll battle you, and they're athletic. So it's tough.
No, absolutely. And looking at it, go to Malachi and Lorenzo here. Go to talk to these guys right here. And guys, I'll start off with Malachi. Both of y'all are seniors coming into this. Again, it's Apopka's been in the state championship game the last 3 out of 4 years, and so I know for y'all, I know y'all's goals is get the state championship game, obviously, but what is a personal goal y'all have set for each of you this year? And I'll start with Malachi on that one, and go to Lorenzo on this.
Just to help the young guys and overall, and just make sure we keep doing what we're doing as Apopka football players and make it to state championship, like you said. And this time we want to win this year.
I'm going to feed off of Malachi a little bit. I want to help out the dudes below me out so that when I'm gone, they can just step up. And we want to get to the state championship and finish.
And when you say finish, what is it going to take for that finish? What are you thinking that's going to take to get to that finish line?
We got to be focused all season. We can't play around, slack off at practice. We got to be fully bought in, and that's all we want.
And stay together at all times. Keep our chemistry up.
Good chemistry. And Coach, what for you, with your guys here, these are just two of your guys that are seniors here. Senior leadership is important for every team. So what is it, for your guys here with your senior leadership? These guys that have been, practically leaders, not just before they were seniors, but before that, helping lead this team to getting to state these last 3 out of 4 years.
I think the adversity that we go through, I think the tempo that we practice with, I think the physicality that we practice with, I think the expectation of the staff, the players themselves, the community, all lends itself to continued success. We've got good football players, good seniors. We've got a bunch of dudes that are going to lay it on the line and go out and give you all they have. So I feel really good about our team. What is that going to translate to? I don't know. I mean, we could be markedly better this year and struggle. So, because you just don't know what the transfer portal is going to do and who's going to have a bunch of dudes and who's going to be hot and what. But we're going to be Apopka, and we're going to press to uphold our standard and play hard as we can possibly play, as long as we can play.
No, absolutely. And, Coach, when we're going back to talking about teams, looking at the schedule here, you start off week one with Ocoee, who got to the state semifinals last year. They got a coaching change over there. But, looking at the first 3 weeks, it's Ocoee, West Orange, Dr. Phillips. Those are all, tough teams. So, it's, you could either be, 3-0, 2-1, or 0-3 coming out of that, or you could be 1-2. For you, that the first 3 games, and then Edgewater week 5, which is out of your first 4 games, and then you're looking at Seminole right there. Out of those first 5 games, they're all tough opponents.
Yes, Dr. Phillips always plays us tough. We got Osceola in the Kickoff Classic, so that'll be a nice warm-up, right?
Oh no, absolutely.
Yeah.
You test the water right there with that one.
No question. So we played Jones in the spring, so you're not going to get better unless you're playing good people, and we're playing good people.
No, absolutely. Good people indeed, and of course, the rest of the schedule. Olympia, which is going to be much improved this year. Lake Brantley, as you just mentioned, Lake Mary, and then Evans, and then there's the neighborhood rival Wekiva. So it's like there's no off weeks in the schedule.
No. Last year we had that hurricane, so we had 3 games in an 8-day span. So we had to play, I think, Wekiva, 2 days after Seminole, after that barn burner. So hopefully we can avoid having to do that. But other than that, yeah, it's difficult.
I guess you wish there was an extra built-in bye week somewhere and then the process of all that, and so you wouldn't have to do the 3 games in 8 days. I mean, I know that makes it difficult when it happens, right?
It does, but it's all about district. You got to win your district, and then you're solid. Otherwise, it's by points. And looking at last year, some of the teams that didn't have great records that got in there, I don't know. I don't want to be the ones that drop the ball and don't make the playoffs. We've been in the playoffs 23 years in a row, and we don't want to mess that up.
No, you don't want to mess that up, and of course, a lot of that tradition start, especially 23 years in a row. That started with Coach Rick Darlington, who built a lot of that, and you all just kind of followed behind everybody else, but keeping that, the standard of the Blue Darters' success there, and for you, Apopka, we talk about small town football, okay, Apopka is part of Orange County, it's part of the Orlando metro area, but Apopka still retains that small town feel. So what is that about, Apopka being able to retain that, being in a large school like it is, but at the same time, it's the town rallies around Apopka High.
I think we're set apart a little bit. We got a good mixture, of rural country folk and some city folk, and some blue collar, some white collar. There's just a good mix, and Apopka's always had, it was known as the friendliest city in the nation, and so they've always been a Apopka pride, But football's been important, and it's been important in all those communities, and I imagine it's going to continue to be so.
No, absolutely, and I'll go to the guys here. For y'all, what does it mean for you to be a Apopka Blue Darter and play for Apopka High School? With the tradition that has been built over the last couple of decades of playing for state championships and winning those state championships along the way as well.
Yeah, it means a lot. Me and Zoe, we grew up here in Apopka. We came to games as little kids, and it was great seeing older guys just keep that standard and go to state championships. And we want to be like them and win one as well.
Yes, sir. Like he said, we grew up here. I watched them growing up. My dream was to never even go to college. It was to play at Apopka and win a state championship. So that's what it's all about around here.
No, absolutely, and just in that thought, with at the end of the day, if any game there's if there's any one big game right this second that I know like at the end of the season Wekiva, that's the rival right there. That's that's the thing. But at the end of the day, which game are y'all looking forward to most this season? Just because it's that game that game that everybody hypes and focuses on. That's the one that everybody talks about. Seminole.
Yeah, I agree with Seminole. Yes, sir.
And why Seminole for you guys? Is it just because of the? Is it because they're almost like the similar nature in terms of the way their town and the way Sanford is, and then the way it's almost like Apopka in the culture? Is it because of that?
It's just like they've always been on our side of the bracket in the playoffs, and we know we got to beat them to go to where we want to go.
Yes, sir. It's usually the team who wins that right there usually goes to states like the past 3 years. So, yes, sir.
No, absolutely on that one right there. And Coach, I mean, your guys say, you know, they you know, I know at the end of the day, I know they focus 1 week at a time, but you know, they get hyped for playing for putting that jersey on every week and playing for that Apopka pride.
Yeah, that's what we love about them. We wouldn't have it any other way. It's about the name on the front, not what might be on the back. We don't have our names on the back, but it's about representing Apopka and upholding the standard. And I've got great kids, great staff, and I love coaching them.
No, absolutely. And guys, I appreciate y'all being able to stop by here. We're here at the Florida Citrus Sports Media Day here at Camping World Stadium, and best of luck to the Blue Darters this season. We'll see you under those Friday night lights this year.
Thank you.
All right. That was the Apopka Blue Darters here joining us here at the Florida Citrus Sports High School Football Media Day right here at Camping World Stadium. We're doing content right here on FloridHSFootball.com. More video content and other content coming along, so keep it tuned right here on FloridHSFootball.com. Thanks for watching.